Welcome to ChiroSecure's Empowering Women in Chiropractic, the Facebook Live show for successful women by successful women, proving once again, women make it happen. Join us each week as we bring you the best in business growth, practice management, social media marketing, networking, leadership, and lots more. If it's about women in practice and business, you'll hear it here. Now join today's host, Dr. Nicole Lindsey, as she talks overhead, debt, and creating other sources of income. And now, here's Dr. Nicole.
Hi, welcome to today's show of Empowering Women in Chiropractic. I'm your host, Dr. Nicole Lindsey, founder of DominateChiromarketing, where I help and teach chiropractors how to build relationships with medical doctors in their community so that they can build credibility, authority, build relationships, and help their practice thrive. First of all, before we jump in, I want to thank ChiroSecure. I really appreciate the opportunity to come together, build relationships with other women professionals in our profession, to be able to provide this information to you all. It's so important to be connecting now more than ever. Today, I have a special guest with me today. She is a chiropractor. She's the founder of the Wellness Doctor Network, where she helps people connect to their community. She helps chiropractors connect with doctors and healthcare providers in their community, and for patients in their community to connect with healthcare providers. She has a podcast, the Doctor Business Podcast. She's a business coach, and most importantly, a mom to be. Welcome, Dr. Hollen Meyer.
Thank you so much. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Our topic today is opportunities in times of uncertainty.
Yes, there
Very
is so much opportunity during this time. It's an uncertain time and a scary time for sure, but definitely I'm excited to jump into some opportunities, and also want to just thank ChiroSecure and yourself, Dr. Nicole, for giving this information out to our profession.
Yeah, just the title of that, opportunities in times of uncertainty. It feels like a beacon of light. When I saw that topic and the title, because yes, there's so much that we can't do right now, especially as chiropractors, putting our hands on people, but there is a lot that we can do, and we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, I think it's important to focus on the things that we can control during these times.
Yes. So I know that you and we share that passion of connection.
Yes.
And making connections. So let's talk about that and what we can do right now with the current state of affairs in our communities to be connected.
Yeah, so when it comes to connection, usually I'm talking about patient acquisitions, right? But during this time of just, I guess uncertainty would be a great way to describe and explain it. Patient acquisitions isn't going to be our main priority. However, there are 3 levels of connection that you must actively pursue during this time. And the first level is connection for yourself as a leader in healthcare. Be sure that you are staying connected with your tribe of influencers, and make sure that you have people that are surrounding you for security as well. And then the next level is to provide that same thing, that safe, calm perspective and outlook for your team. And then one of just as important for maintaining practice procedures and practice flow for whenever things start ramping up again is staying connected and creating a safe environment and community for your practice members to be part of and to play a role in. And we can get into some ways of what that looks like as well. And now is the time. Most of us have a lot more time on our hands, right? Unfortunately, now is the time to do all of those specific things that you should have been doing all along, but just didn't hit high on the priority list. And using all forms of communication, from social media with your personal page, with the business page, especially groups, because they are getting quite a bit of visibility for that community. Doing email campaigns and email sequences, utilizing direct mail, but using that very wisely for your high spenders, just because that's what costs money right now. And really, I think another thing is, don't let, if you're struggling with your mentality of scarcity, don't let that fear be mirrored in your office if you're still allowed to see patients right now. Because there are some people that are still doing well. There are some people that have had to make the choice that they're not going to go to Starbucks, or maybe it's closed, or not going to get the Botox or their hair done, or those kind of things. And so they can reorganize where that money is going. And it should be in healthcare that really matters, and that's your office. So consider the possibility that people might actually still have money to spend on essential healthcare, because that is you. That is the doctor of chiropractic.
I love that you mentioned connecting for yourself first, because I think that's what a lot of us are missing. And I know I went through personally, when this all started, I was very contracted. I was very, just not paying attention to that feeling within me and
Yes.
what I needed to relax and calm down so that I could give to my people, because I am still open right now. But yes, thank you for reminding us to do that.
Right.
Uh,
It almost kind of like the above, down, inside out principle and philosophy that we have for chiropractic. Like, we have to do that in our personal development as well, because we can't give from an empty cup. So yes.
Sure, for sure. Yes. And I know that personally, as far as connecting, we are still seeing patients in my office, but it's not nearly as many. So there is a little bit more time on our hands. So yes, exactly what you said. Some of the other things that we are doing are writing letters to patients and cards, and making those phone calls to stay connected to them. Even the patients that can't come in right now, just calling them and just saying, "Hey, we're thinking about you. We know that you can't come in right now, but we still care about you."
That's
Think
awesome.
that way.
And that speaks volumes of your character, and that you actually care about them. And that will instill a sense of security and loyalty to your patients, and even to your team members too. Because for some of us, not all the team members are able to come in, want to come in, and some of us had to lay a lot of people off too. So just reaching out to those folks and really letting them know you're thinking about them, you're caring. You don't have to have any magic words, but just that I care.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think too, like you said, keep that voice out there, because when this is over, and it will be over, your voice, the louder it is, on social media, even to patients, your target market, you mentioned that in your bullet points, just being in front of them when this is over, when they are ready, they're going to choose you.
Right. You've got to put yourself out there and be the leader that chiropractors are and should be, and you really have to step up to the plate and be that voice of reason, that perspective of calmness for people, and gain their respect right now, and put out just a ton of value of what they can be doing now. And that way, whenever it's time for them to come into your office, like, you're the only person on their mind to come see.
Now, do you have any suggestions for putting content out? Because I know that that's the thing right now. Okay, we've got the group set up. So how do we go about putting out organized content that's not all over the place?
Yes, yes, yes. And this kind of goes into exposure as well, and staying in the spotlight, staying visible, staying relevant, and be seen. Do the things that you should have been doing all along, right? So, and so whenever it comes to staying relevant, so what I always recommend people do is find your strength in getting content out there. Sometimes it could be written content. Some people are so much better or easier with video. Some people hate video. So start with what you're comfortable with. so that it at least gets started, right? So let's say you want to put out a message. People are at home. The ergonomics are not the same in their workspace as maybe it was at their office. So do a little video about it, whether it's your home office or at your office, right? So do a little video about it, and you can repurpose that content. Have somebody translate that, or go to rev.com to translate that into a written format. And then you can do an infographic, right? Just do a picture of it and put it out on social media, put it out on email. You can repurpose all of this stuff and have somebody, or do it yourself, put it on YouTube. Really utilize all of the media streams right now. Even if you don't know how to right now, somebody does. Somebody in your little circle can help you figure it out or do it for you, and just lock arms with each other and help each other out in that format. But I am a big believer in repurposing content in multiple different ways, so you're not having to come up with so much. And I also want to encourage people to set a structure in your day. So often we're structured by our schedule of patients, and so we don't really have to think about it. And with us being kind of left brain and right brain as well, like we're super creative in our art of chiropractic. Sometimes it's difficult for us when we don't have that schedule placed for us to be productive, even though we might be busy. So I encourage people to block off time for you to get these things done.
Yeah, that is so important, especially right now when we feel all over the place,
Yes.
frazzled. So, yeah. And I started making a list of different topics that seem relevant right now, like kids sitting at home. I hear a lot of moms saying that my kids are sitting around doing nothing. I wish they had more movement in their life. So that kind of sparked an idea. I'm like, oh, we should, I said to my associate, we need to make videos for some of the kids, cooking,
Exactly.
everybody's cooking now because they can't go out. So what can we show patients to do that's healthy, that they can,
Right. And that is so valuable. And even if you have a group, or just ask on Facebook, like, what do you need to know about right now? And just use that information to become content. And I want to encourage people to write down 100 topics, 100 things that you could talk about. Right? Because ergonomics go into head forward posture, goes into, it can snowball into topics. So
that's a
write
good
down
idea.
100 things that you're the expert in. Because a lot of people also think like, well, I'm not that interesting. People don't want to see me. And so I want to say, get your ego out of the way. People kind of think that that's more humble than ego, but make it less about you and more about what your patients need to be seeing right now.
For
And
sure.
make a list of 100 things that you could talk about that will help Susie next door, that may or may not know about chiropractic, may or may not know about anything. And so many chiropractors think like, I never really thought about that, like spinal hygiene and stretching is something that people don't know about. I didn't realize that people should just
Right.
stand up every 20, 30 minutes and move around to get their blood flow. Yes, even the simple things, do a video about it, post something about it. Yes. And be
Just stay
human during your posts as well. You don't always have to be so doctory.
Right, exactly. Now, I know another word that you and I share a passion for is collaboration. And that's really important right now for us to pull our resources together on a personal level. I know I have my girlfriends, we've been Zooming and having, happy hour over the internet, but
Yes.
to be collaborating with community members too.
That's exactly right. And yes, you and I share. It is such a huge business driver for myself and so many of my colleagues and clients. So when it comes to collaboration, there's different levels you can do this on. And first off, get within your profession, right? That's the easiest thing to do. Is chiropractors around the corner. Sometimes sometimes some doctors have never even met the chiro down the street because it's competition, right? Lose the ego, lose the scarcity mindset, come together so that y'all can actually be a voice of reason and strength for the community. So reach out to your colleagues, but then also get off your island. And this is where you and I really connect, because reach out to the MDs, right? Why not? offset that load and that burden so that they can see some of these more serious cases with what's going on right now. And then you get to see the more acute musculoskeletal cases as well during this time. And so that way, this time could be an opportunity for you to actually bridge those gaps in healthcare too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
We were just talking about that before we went live, how I sent out letters to all the MDs when this started, letting them know that I'm here to help take off the burden of seeing those patients with musculoskeletal issues
right.
and to keep them out of urgent cares and ERs and out of their offices so they can focus on acute respiratory, and flu-like symptoms right now. So yes, definitely.
Exactly.
Now's the time to be collaborating with MDs.
Now's a perfect opportunity because they want to hear from you. They may or may not know what chiropractic is. And this is a perfect opportunity to at least get your foot in the door with some musculoskeletal issues. And then you can talk about wherever your path leads for you and what chiropractic is for you as well. And this also leads me into getting off your island and really circulate yourself into the other local small businesses as well. And lock arms with them and ask them, how can I promote you in the way of healthcare? So local gyms, right? Do some collaborative things together, whether y'all interview each other and then you get seen in front of their audience, they get seen in front of your audience, and you're both pushing toward the similar thing of wellness, being proactive in your health. Local restaurant owners is a great opportunity for that as well. Anything that you can think of, find healthy restaurants that they can go pick up, right? So really promote still within the guidelines of where you're located, right? And what the government tells us to do. Respect those, but at the same time, find a way to really immerse yourself in local businesses, and not only to build your business and their business, but for the long-term game, okay? You be the voice of reason amongst all the businesses in your area, and you be the leader. You step up to the plate and lead these people to come together for community, because every single one of us is looking for a leader to look up to. We're looking for guidance, and you could be that person for your area as well.
I love that. I love that. It's one of our other hosts. She is helping chiropractors put together virtual summits. And this would be a great, Dr. Natalie, this would be a great time to create something like that. I know I've had that on my to-do list, and I might just make that happen. Thank you.
You definitely should. And this time we're trying to, or we should be, even within our practice members and our Facebook groups and that sort of thing, building leaders in your practice even. And really just at the end of the day, it's about providing security for people and preservation for their future and your future as well.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for sharing everything. I know you and I need to connect more and possibly collaborate. I know, we could probably get more accomplished if we did that. So
Absolutely.
great to meet you. Thank you for sharing everything. And next week, make sure you tune in. We have the pediatric show. And then following that week, we have Dr. Natalie for Empowering Women in Chiropractic. And I'd like to end with a quote that I think is very relevant for today, for this topic, and where we are, by Joseph Campbell. Opportunities to find deeper powers within ourselves come when life seems most challenging. Thank you all for watching today. Hope you have a wonderful day.
Join us each week as we bring you the best in business growth, practice management, social media marketing, networking, leadership, and lots more. If it's about women in practice and business, you'll hear it here. We hope you enjoyed this week's Facebook Live event. Please like us on Facebook, comment, and share. We look forward to seeing all of you next week for another episode of Empowering Women in Chiropractic. Now, go ahead and hit the share button and tell your friends and colleagues about the show. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day. This has been a ChiroSecure production.